Hi, so my name's Adam. I have a YouTube channel called Vege Plus. We talk about animal rights. What's your name, sir?
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you from?
Israel.
Israel. Nice. Okay, nice to meet you. Alright, so you saw my sign. If you're not vegan, you support animal abuse. So what do you think when you see this sign?
You said that if you are vegan that you support...
If you're not vegan, you support animal abuse.
Depends on how you define abuse, right? Like, is abuse any kind of violence?
I would say any unjust violence to another being, yeah, for no unnecessary.
So then that depends on what is just, right? Probably meat eater would say raising an animal for food is just violence, I guess.
Well, that's the question. Okay, why? Why? Because we don't need meat to survive, right? So if we don't need meat to survive or animal products, we do it for pleasure. So if we do something for pleasure, then I don't think it's just. What would you say?
So survive is a big word. Is it survive? Is it thrive? Like I myself was a vegetarian for almost 3 years. I have to say it was very bad for me. Maybe I could have done it better. I don't know, right? But like for me, it was bad. So would you not die if you would not eat animal products? Definitely. Would you thrive? I don't know. And I also would say, I guess it's not justifying one evil with another, but obviously all of modern life is based on a lot of unjust things we do to other people or creatures, right? Like, you know, our phone is based off labor, and a lot of it is done in very poor conditions, right? Either if it's mining for the lithium in Africa, or if it's producing the phone in Foxconn factories, that's also extremely unjust, right?
Of course, but I think this is like an appeal to nirvana. Just because, you know, we can't do something perfectly doesn't mean we shouldn't do it at all. Like, you know, maybe I did buy this phone and there were some poor things, but, you know, veganism isn't about saying no suffering, because that's almost impossible, but reducing as much suffering as possible. And that, you know, it's easy for any of us if we live in a developed country to stop eating animal products. It's an easy way to reduce the amount of suffering on this planet.
So how do you feel about ethically raised meat? Does that change the picture for you? Like, you know, pasture raised or whatever?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you're still killing a creature for no good reason, you know, for pleasure, for food. And these animals, they still die at a fraction of their lifespan. Like a cow can live up to 20 years, you know, and they still kill it in these humane farms like 6 months, 1 year, right?
And what about the fact that if it weren't for farming, that cow would not, most likely would not exist, right?
Excuse me, sorry?
If it weren't for farming, most cows most likely would not exist at all.
Well, I mean, just because they exist, but they exist in horrible conditions. You know, they're crammed into each other, they live in their own feces, you know, it's awful. So I think I'd rather not be alive and not experience anything than experience immense suffering. Wouldn't you?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that's going back because, so would you agree, if you buy these products, you support animal abuse? Do you agree on this?
I agree, support, yeah, I mean, in a sense, yeah. I don't think, I have to tell you, when I stopped being vegetarian, before that, I would only eat, like, you know, meat when you don't see the meat, you know, like, you know, cold cuts or, you know, but after that I decided, you know, now I have to buy a whole chicken, right, because I have to at least see it, right? Mm-hmm. I agree that in a way, yes, you support animal abuse, yes.
Yeah, okay. Are you against animal cruelty?
I mean, obviously not against it if I eat meat, right?
Is that okay? Do you want to be for animal cruelty?
I have to say, I mean, I accept it for the part in my life, I have to say. I mean...
Okay, but why? Why do it if you don't have to?
I do it to the extent that I feel I need to. I don't kick dogs in the street if I don't need to. I, from my personal experience, do think I have to have animal products in my diet at least to thrive. That, again, you could say it's debatable, but from my personal experience, and yeah.
Okay, well, you know, we could say a lot of things about my personal experience. Like, I could say, oh, I really need, like, crack cocaine. You know, there's no, like, just because you feel something doesn't mean you need it. right? That's it. We have to look at the scientific evidence to see if we need as humans to survive and thrive on the vegan diet. And there's already peer-reviewed studies from different countries, America, Canada, England, these big institutions that say we can thrive on the vegan diet. Right? So then it's not a matter of, oh, you need it, you don't need it.
I mean, there is a place for personal experience, right? I have been on not a vegan, a vegetarian diet for several years in my past. My personal experience was very bad. Could I have done it differently? Maybe, but I mean.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you ate. Maybe you planned it poorly, and also it's vegetarian. I'm not advocating for vegetarianism, advocating for veganism. You know.
Yeah, but that's like even more. That's like a stronger limitation, right? So you're you're advocating for even more restriction.
Yeah. Yes, but I mean, like, obviously, I'm thriving. I'm surviving. There's vegan athletes, right? So, what do you mean?
Debatable.
Okay, I've come
I'm sure you have the list, but you know, the level of evidence would be a top athlete who was vegan for their lifetime. I don't think you have.
All right, I was actually very curious on this. Are there any vegan athletes like since birth? And there's this lady here, there's a bodybuilder. Look at those great muscles, vegan since birth. And this guy on the right, he's been a vegetarian since birth, but he's never eaten meat. And he went vegan in 2015. So some examples right there.
Those.
I mean, like what evidence would you need to be shown to show that you can thrive on a vegan diet? Like what would I need to show you?
I'm not sure.
Exactly. So you know, I've had a lot of conversations like this. Obviously, I'm alive. I thrive. There's studies. There's vegan athletes. I don't think you need to be a vegan for your whole life to show that's healthy. I think you need to be a few years, right? But can we both agree it's possible at least that you can thrive on a vegan diet?
I'm sure it's possible.
Okay. So then you can thrive on a vegan diet. Then why you keep eating meat if you don't need to do this?
As I said, my personal experience that I.
Okay, but we already established you don't need to. We already established that you have options.
We have not established that. We have established that.
You just a few seconds. You just said you agreed it could be possible, yeah, that you can thrive on the vegan diet.
It could be possible, yes. I have not personally experienced that.
Okay, but if you did plan it well, whole food, plant-based diet, you could thrive on it if you planned you got all the nutritional needs met. If you did it well.
I'm saying it's possible, maybe.
Okay. Yes. So now it's possible, right? And then so you have the choice to support animal abuse by buying these meat products, animal products, or not. That's so why not choose the vegan products?
I mean, there are various aspects of my life I could improve. The various reasons for why I improve ones, not others, I guess.
Okay, are you saying you could go vegan?
I don't know.
Why not?
It would require planning, thoughts, and work, I guess.
Okay. Okay, but like with any change in life, you know, it takes some effort, right?
Yes, okay.
But you know, do you know the best benefit about being vegan is?
Go ahead.
You stop being responsible for this animal cruelty, right? You just stop being personally responsible. Right, because every time you buy these products, you're paying with your money saying, yes, I want more cruelty. But when you boycott these products, you stop being responsible for that. Wouldn't you want that?
Maybe. I mean, I mean, the argument that you're making is it's a zero-cost change to me to achieve this higher moral life, I'd say, right? I don't think it's a zero-cost change. I think I have various things I can improve in my life. I don't think that my energy would go towards that at this point. So I'm going to have to go.
Okay. Let me just give you some resources, some flyers, you know, because you know there's two people in this world. They think about, oh, what do I get out of going vegan, or people that see the victims and you know and think about them and think about in the victim's point of view, right? So this is about the animals, you know, they're being tortured, being killed, you know, unnecessarily. So until you go vegan, animals will die by your choices. That's why you think about that.
Okay. They
Right?
would die. I mean, animal die by your choices because of your lifestyle, because of uh, our Western consumerism, right? So it's not you're not eliminating all.
Yeah, but I'm reducing as much as practically possible, right? And wouldn't that be morally preferable than living a life that you're living now?
There are other practices you could adopt that would reduce animal suffering, right?
I mean, I could go as much as practically possible, yes, but I think
Yeah, I mean it's like giving up your car. Most like I don't know if you have a car.
I don't.
Okay. Would you, if you'd have a car, or giving up flying or something like that, also would reduce animal and human suffering, right?
All right, I just wanted to make a quick aside because he was equating the environment and stuff with animal deaths, but this is what I hear like, oh, you could keep reducing, you could just, live in a cave. Obviously, that's not practically possible, and I don't see any argument he gave that said he could, just go vegan and eliminate the animal suffering as much as practically possible. So I just gave an example here. All right, let's just say conservatively, you eat meat once a day, right? So let's say one animal, even though usually people eat 2 or 3 times, that's still 365 animals a year. And of course, if you do it times by 2, times by 3, it's more. So if you had the choice to support this or not to support this, what would you choose? Right? I think the answer is clear.
yeah, well, okay, but I'm saying as practically possible. You know, some people need a car, right? But we don't need.
No, but for some people it's practical to give it up and they don't. For
So-
some people it's practical to give up their car and they don't.
Yeah, yes, but like the moral baseline is to go vegan, right? Because then you could always go better, of course, as much as practically possible. But
Why isn't the moral like I'm here as a tourist? Tourism is highly unethical. You could argue, right? It's and then a lot of people around here are tourists. It creates a lot of carbon emissions. It affects local communities, and that is something that everybody can give up. Even is much easier than veganism.
I wouldn't say so. Like, traveling and because this is a huge problem. Like 80 billion land animals die each year. 80 billion. So 10 times as much people are there on the planet.
Carbon emissions from flights, I think, account almost like 2% of all carbon emissions. That's a huge number.
Yeah, and
Give up entirely.
factory farming, I think, is 9. So if you want to think about the environment, go vegan.
And I think one of the biggest one is maritime shipping. There's also something we can get rid of a lot of if you I don't know, consume locally grown meat food, and if you don't buy shit off of Amazon and Alibaba. So I mean, there are various ways people can reduce suffering. I don't accept the claim that like veganism is, I don't know, baseline or the thing that is easiest or the thing that everybody must do first, right?
But like we.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, no
Adam,
problem.
take
Thank
care.
you,
What's your name?
Adam. All
Sorry.
right, no problem. Thank you so much. Take care.
He left before I can make this point that he's equating the environment to suffering, which these are two different things. When you buy animal products, you are directly contributing to this suffering. What he's saying, like buying products on Amazon or whatever, I don't see any correlation between this to suffering of any kind, or at least he didn't bring up any valid points. But if you are concerned about the environment, like you said, it's animal agriculture almost contributes to 20% of global emissions. Right? So if you do care about the environment, go vegan.